Trump said dangerously liberal extremist Harris-Walz ticket is every American's nightmare. I definitely agree with that statement. Um, the leftist, the socialists have taken over the Democrat Party. They're no longer feigning that they're somewhere in the middle. They're no longer feigning that the extreme left has taken over the Democrat Party. That's why they have Waltz as a VP nominate there, and very, very dangerous. We see what he did over there in Minnesota. We know what happened with the riots and how he did absolutely nothing about that. And then we got the woman that bailed the rioters out, Kamala Harris there. I mean, and they want to export that to the entire country. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, follow me on X, where I put out a bunch of news there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from the great Frank Bergman from Slay News. And he reported that President Donald Trump's campaign has issued a warning to the American people after VP Kamala Harris picked radical Democrat Governor Tim Walz as her running mate for the November election. The Trump camp blasted Walz as a, quote, dangerously liberal extremist, no matter how they try to paint him as otherwise. Someone posted on X, which they showed a picture of Walz with a duck and a gun, like he went duck hunting and killed a duck, and they were like, try to make him to be liberal, try to make him to be progressive conservatives or something like that. And then someone replied, rightfully so, and said, yeah, he put tampons in the boys' bathrooms. so he don't try to pretend like he's some middle of the ground conservative Democrat when he's more leftist than possibly AOC. But Team Trump is warning that the Harris-Walz vision for the country is, quote, every American's nightmare. Walz was tapped as Harris's vice president pick Tuesday morning. The 60-year-old is a former congressman and is in his second term as the governor of Minnesota. Democrats have reliably won the state in presidential elections for decades, but the Trump campaign has aimed at flipping Minnesota this cycle. Recently, Walz attacked Trump and his running mate J.D. Vance as weird. The Harris campaign has since embraced the viral insult. The Trump campaign has shot back and blasted Walz for his far-left policies and views, which complement Harris perfectly. In a statement, Trump campaign National Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, quote, it's no surprise that San Francisco liberal Kamala Harris wants West Coast wannabe Tim Walz as her running mate. Walz has spent his governorship trying to reshape Minnesota in the image of the Golden State. While Walz pretends to support Americans in the heartland when the cameras are off, he believes that rural America is, quote, mostly cows and rocks. From proposing his own carbon-free agenda to suggesting stricter emission standards for gas-powered cars and embracing policies to allow convicted felons to vote, Walz is obsessed with spreading California's dangerously liberal agenda far and wide, Leavitt said. And that's true. They want to make California the United States, the entire United States. She added, quote, if Walz won't tell voters the truth, we will. Like Kamala Harris, Tim Walz is a dangerously liberal extremist, and the Harris-Walz California dream is every American's nightmare. Walz can showcase a slew of progressive policy victories in Minnesota, including protecting abortion rights, legalizing recreational marijuana, and restricting gun access. Walz was elected to the House in 2006 and re-elected 5 times, representing Minnesota's 1st congressional district, a mostly rural district covering the southern part of the state that includes a number of mid-sized cities. During his last 2 years on Capitol Hill, he served as a ranking member of the House Veteran Affairs Committee. Walz won Minnesota's gubernatorial election as governor in 2018 and was re-elected 4 years later. The governor has gained attention recently with his comment about Trump and Vance. Quote, "These are weird people on the other side. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam room. That's what it's come down to," he said on MSNBC last month. But what he don't tell you is we want to get rid of the pornographic books that has no place in a children's library. You know what I'm saying? That's what the real issue is here. It's not just getting rid of books. I mean, these people are despicable. They want to be able to groom your children. Quote, don't get sugarcoating this. These are weird ideas. Walz, however, has faced criticism for his handling of COVID-19 and for fueling the riots that rocked Minnesota in 2020. Just last week, Minnesota GOP chairman David Hahn said he's been a disaster for Minnesota and is by far the most partisan governor that I can remember having. Going back to 2020, certainly he did nothing to try to stop the riots going on in Minneapolis. Matter of fact, his wife said when the rioting was happening, she opened the windows so she could smell the tires burning because she loved the smell of tires. These people are sick. But quote, "I think he was fearful of alienating his progressive base who were supporting the riots. Camilla was raising money for the rioters." Walz also issued a memorandum mandating indoor masking during the pandemic, as well as setting up a hotline to report residents who violated totalitarian COVID-19 mandates, as Fox 9 Minnesota reported at the time, which is just despicable. They love these snitch lines. They love these snitch lines, and they're doing the same thing in what state is that? Oh, in Michigan. Oh no. Is it Michigan or Pennsylvania? I can't remember. I think it was Michigan, where they got snitch lines for so-called quote-unquote misinformation. If someone has misinformation pertaining to the elections, you're supposed to call this tip line. I mean, these people are the epitome of 1984. But he has also taken heat for telling a group of Democrats that socialism is what some people would call neighborliness. I told you these people are socialists, and they're admitting the fact. Quote, "Don't ever shy away from our progressive values," he said on White Dudes for Harris call on Monday night. "One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness." Harris and Walz are scheduled to kick off a campaign swing through all 7 crucial battleground states starting on Tuesday. The first event is in Philadelphia. So I think they're going to have Walz go around and doing interviews and stuff like that because he can talk and Camilla Harris can't. So they're going to continue to hide her and have him speak on her behalf is what I think is going to be happening. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.